Hello, hello, hello! Welcome to my channel where I share all about my experience going from a brick and mortar teacher working in the schools to teaching full-time online. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some differences between two companies that I have been working for, VIPKid and Wales English. Let's get into it. Okay, so a little bit about my background. So I was a brick and mortar teacher for 5 years before deciding to stay home with our daughter. And the first company I started working for was VIPKid. I have been working for VIPKid now for a year and a half, and I have loved the opportunity that it has given me for me to be able to stay home. When I got pregnant with my daughter, I knew working from home was something I really wanted to figure out how to do. And VIPKid has enabled me to do that. So I am so grateful for that company. Since everything that happened in the year 2020, I decided it was time to expand my online teaching and try to find another company or two that I could start working for to help bring in some more income. So the company that I started working for in addition to VIPKid was another ESL company called Wales English. I had heard about Wales English a little bit before the pandemic, and I didn't put much thought into it because I was loving VIPKid, things were going well, but whenever I saw kind of a decline in bookings, I decided to look back into it, and I am so thankful I gave it a shot because I am loving it. I am in my going on second to third month with Wales, so today I just kind of want to share some big differences in case you're in a similar boat like me and you're looking to grow your online teaching. Hopefully this can be helpful for you. I didn't really know before was that both Wales and VIPKid started their companies back in 2013. So originally I had thought VIPKid had been around for much longer, but it just turns out that VIPKid has recruited way more teachers in a short amount of time than Wales. As the age differences between students, both are about the same. With Wales, you're going to see most of your students being 4 to 18 years old, and with VIPKid, they're a little bit younger, 4 to 12, so they won't be as old. However, in both companies, I have seen students that are as young as 3. Be surprised if you get into either company and that is something that you see. One thing that kind of made me nervous coming from VIPKid and going into Wales was the fact that VIPKid, it is all one-on-one teaching, so it's you as the teacher and you're on video chat with just one other student. However, with Wales, what I typically see now is about 2 students, 1 to 2, in my classes, and it makes it really fun because the kids get to interact with each other, which I have been loving. Other things I wanted to share with you guys about like the requirements. I get asked these questions a lot coming from my teacher friends. They're like, okay, Jen, what's the deal? What do I need to do? What kind of certificates do I have to have? So I'll share with you VIPKid first. VIPKid is a bachelor's degree or higher. You do not have to have any kind of special ESL certificate. That was something I was shocked when I came in because I have never had ESL experience before. However, you are able to get a certification with the VIP program, and then you are good to go and you're seen as an ESL teacher, which is awesome. I did not have to pay any money for that when I did it. Some other things to keep in mind is it is recommended that you have taught children for 2 years. Now that could be classroom teaching, that could be tutoring, mentorship, or even coaching. As far as like work authorization, they want you to be of the United States or Canada. So that'll kind of bring me into Wales. So with Wales, it has a much further reach as far as teachers. So they want you to be a native English speaker. You can be from the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, Ireland, or even New Zealand, which is super wonderful. And then for teaching experience there, they do require you to have a minimum of 1 year. For Wales, I did have to go in and get more of an official ESL certificate. I will link below the program that I use. I believe it's called International Academy. Like I said, I'll put it down below in case you are interested. It was really affordable. It was super quick. It did not take me very much time at all. So in case you do already have a certificate, it's either a TESOL, TEFL, or CELTA. With VIPKid, I mentioned that I did get a certification with them. However, that did not count towards the Wales English platform. They wanted me to have more of an accredited outside source. So I got that from the link down below. And then also with Wales, they do recommend that you have a bachelor's or higher. Talking about scheduling. So VIPKid, the contracts that you will sign are 6 months at a time. There is no minimum requirement of how many hours you teach. So VIPKid is a wonderful option. Say you are already a brick and mortar teacher. Maybe you wake up really early in the mornings and you're like, hey, I could use a side hustle teaching half-hour classes, maybe even an hour before you would have to jump in the car and go to your school job during the day. You could also teach some in the evenings. Friday and Saturday nights are really good bookings for VIPKid. And what's nice about that is maybe 1 week you can do it and the next week you can't. So you put out your availability about 2 weeks ahead of time and you can open as little or as much as you want. The peak hours for VIPKid are 6 to 9 p.m. Beijing time. So for me, I live in the US and I am Central Standard Time. So right now with daylight savings and all of that, I end up teaching between the hours of 5 to 7 a.m. most days. With Wales, the contract is 12 months. So with Wales, it's definitely more of a commitment. However, I am no longer a brick and mortar teacher. I strictly work from home. With the pandemic, having more of a commitment and having that schedule consistency was something that was really appealing to me. So as far as the commitment with Wales is, there's 2 different programs. So depending on which one you do, you would have peak hours anywhere from 8 to 10 per week that you have to be consistent. So what I mean by that is they're called fixed time slots. So the program that I'm in, which is the most popular, is I have to have a minimum of 8 hours that I can teach that are the same every single week. This is because whenever you get booked with a student, you are with them for months and months and months. So they're seeing you once a week, every Tuesday at 6 in the morning or whatever. This was awesome for me because like I said, with the pandemic, I had seen kind of a decrease in my VIPKid bookings. And now, once I have a student sign up with me, I know that they are going to be with me every single week for the next several months. And I don't have to worry about the inconsistency of the paycheck. The peak hours are very similar, 6 to 9 p.m. Beijing time. So what I do is on the days that I am not teaching Wales, I will pick up some VIPKid hours, and it has worked really, really well. The big thing you probably are all wondering is the pay, dependent on your experience, your interview, additional things maybe on your resume, $18 to $27 an hour. That's with the incentives and your base rate and all of that. Another thing that Wales does offer is if you teach X amount of classes per month, you can get the full attendance bonus. And every month that could be a little bit different. So what they do is they send out the next month's incentive offer the month prior. Wales English classes are 50 minutes. Some are 25 if you're teaching a lower level, whereas VIPKid, they are those half-hour time slots at the 25 minutes as well. So when I say $18 per class, that's $18 for 50 minutes. They do offer the $5 trial conversion. What makes this cool though is if you have 2 kiddos in a trial class and they both convert, you just got an additional $10 on top of your salary. So with trial classes for Wales English, everybody is at the same. It is $18 per class. Like you used to get bonuses with VIPKid if you were on time, if you completed X amount of classes, all these different things. Whereas now that's not even the case anymore. It's based on how many classes you've taught over a long period of time. So teachers that have taught for a long time and teachers that teach a lot of classes a month have a bump up. If you teach a trial class, you will get a $5 incentive for each child that converts and starts working with VIPKid. Some other random facts about the differences between Wales and VIPKid I wanted to just break down. Since I was so used to VIPKid, some of these things were a little bit different for me. So with VIPKid, I love the fact that there's an app on my phone. I can do all the scheduling, all the things right here from my phone without having to log into my laptop or the desktop. With Wales, there is no app yet on the phone like I was talking about for VIPKid, although they do have the portal online. As far as apps though, Wales does something very unique. They have TCs, which is kind of like your teacher support person. So whenever you are hired on with Wales, you will get a TC, and that is one person who has been given to you to be your main contact. So you will download an app to have conversations with your TC, and that's called Ding Talk. I had never heard of it before, but it's really, really cool because if I'm having an issue with a class or I have a question, I can just send a message straight from my phone to my TC and she will get back to me rather quickly. But if you are a brick and mortar teacher, especially in the US, you will notice that the Wales English, the way the classes run, kind of reminds you of maybe a lot of curriculum that you've seen in your US classrooms. For example, the RH Reach curriculum from National Geographic is a part of it. They use the Oxford Reading Program, so some of those might be ringing a bell for you. One of the last things I did want to touch on between the differences is since you are kind of in more of a commitment with Wales English, you do have to request for your time off in advance. So over a period of time, they will give you different things. So for example, over a 6-month period of time, you can take up to 2 days off twice a day. They just want to make sure that you're letting them know well in advance. The Chinese New Year that's coming up, we just got an email a couple weeks back saying that regular teachers will not be teaching class during that week. Whereas VIPKid, I usually open up my slots that week in the evenings for me because it's morning for them, but they're home from school. So there's typically quite a need there. So like I said, with VIPKid, if you're just wanting hours here and there, that could be a really good fit for you. Or if you're someone like me who stays home full time and you're looking for more of that consistent income, I would definitely recommend looking into Wales. I hope this video was really helpful for you guys. Thank you so much if you listened to the whole thing. I will leave both of my referral links for Wales English and VIPKid down in the description box below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I will be making videos every week on my online teaching experiences, and I do my best to help out anybody that I can. So if you decide to use one of my links to sign up with one of the companies, I would be glad to email back and forth with you. If it's best for you to jump on a Zoom call, I would love to meet you and hash things out and help you out to the best of my abilities. So I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you.